Hey guys, STAT1800 midterm exam information. It's kind of hard to believe that we're already at midterm, but we are. And I just want to share some information with you. I will tell you it's extremely important that you watch this video because I'm going to point out some really important things about how to study for your midterm and essentially how to take your midterm. And I will tell you kind of on a sidebar here that I think when it comes to students, I don't know, struggling with material, and I think I'm one of the most patient professors around. I'm well to help you, but when you don't get the basic information just because you just didn't pay attention or didn't take time to watch the video, like deadlines and things of that nature, I'm not so patient. So guys, watch it completely. If there's information in here and you don't follow it, or you don't understand it, yeah, that's probably where I'm not going to be so patient. But if there's something about statistics and learning, again, I think I'm extremely patient. So let's get to it. First of all, before we get to the midterm exam, I am required by the university to submit midterm progress reports. It turns out these things are due October 6th. Now, in an ideal world, I would have these things due after you take your midterm exam, but that's not the way the university sees it. The purpose of these things is try to identify students who are on a path to where they're not going to be successful in their class. So again, ideally, I would like to have your midterm completed before I submit these, but that's just not the way it works out. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to wait until everyone has a chance to submit assignment number 6. I think the due date is, I'm putting this video up Monday, October the 2nd, so I think the due date is October 4th. So probably on October the 5th, I'll go through and everyone who has a 70 or higher on the cumulative My Math Lab assignments and quizzes, you will get a satisfactory progress report. Everybody with 69 and lower will get an unsatisfactory progress report. Obviously, I mean, believe it or not, there's a couple people that still haven't got their My Math Lab account, which I think is just incredibly goofy, but well, whatever. It's what it is. So, obviously those guys are going to get an unsatisfactory report. Now, what's this mean? It just means through the first 6 assignments, you're either kind of predicted to succeed in the class, and to me, succeed is C or higher, or you're predicted to get a D or lower. So. That's just what we're trying to do. It's not the end of the world. I've had students who have received unsatisfactory progress reports who have ended up with an A in the class. And on the flip side of that, I've had students who ended up with a satisfactory progress report who ended up flunking the class. So it's just a snapshot of a summative statement, I guess you would say, of a kind of a snapshot of what you've done so far. All right, guys, midterm exam, as you should know because it was stated in the introductory video and in the class syllabus. Your exam is taken on October 11th, which is a Wednesday. So with me putting this video up on October 2nd, it's 9 days away. You are permitted a 2.5-hour time block, during which time you will log on anywhere in the world and take your exam. You can start as early as 12:01 a.m., in which case your exam would be due 2.5 hours later. Or you can start approximately at about 9:30 p.m., but your exam would have to be submitted by 11:59 p.m. So guys, you're given a 2-hour time block. You tell me when you want it to begin. You do that by sending an email to ddarbro@shiny.edu by 11 p.m. on October the 10th. Guys, I need a little bit of time. I got a lot of students this semester. So to keep everything organized, I'm going to need a little bit of extra time, so send those to me as soon as possible. And they are due by 11 p.m. on October 10th. You just tell me your start time. People are different. I've had last semester I had a nurse in class, and she worked, I think, like a 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. So, she wanted time to get home and fix dinner and maybe study a little, so she didn't start until like 9 p.m. Same class, I had a guy who was in the military. He said, "Dr. Darber, I'm a morning person." He started at 5 a.m. and his exam was due at 7:30 a.m. So you tell me when you want to start, and you're going to have two and a half hours to submit the exam. Now, I maybe told you get 2 hours, but I've extended it to 2.5 because I've already completed, already made out and created the midterm exam, and it's a little longer. So for you to have ample time to submit this, I'm giving an extra 30 minutes. Guys, the third bullet down, your midterm exam is accessible only during your time block. So, if you request to start at 2 p.m., I would log on at about a quarter till 2, 10 till 2. Your exam won't even be there. And then magically, the link to the midterm exam will appear right at the time you requested your time block to begin. Unlike your assignments, guys, all your assignments, including the midterm study guide, which I'll talk about in just a second, you get as many tries per question as time will allow, or as as you want to put forth the effort. The test, you only get one chance per question. And guys, you access these through quizzes and tests on my math lab. So let's say that you're one of the lucky ones and you're going to Mexico next week. You're going scuba diving, getting ready to do something really cool. That's fine. Good for you. Drink a margarita for me while you're down there. But I'm going to tell you one thing. On October 11th, you better be able to give me 2.5 hours or 2 hours, during which time you're going to take your midterm exam. Guys, if you don't get this submitted on October 11th, you're going to get a 0, or you'd have to have a university excused absence. So that has to be a doctor's excuse or something under the student code. There's a list of things that are excused. Just coming up and saying, "Man, Dr. Darber, I've been really busy and I just haven't really paid a lot of attention to Blackboard." Well, you're getting a 0 for your midterm. I don't bend my policies, guys, for none of you. I have to be consistent. And what would happen there, you would use the final exam in place of your midterm. And guys, I tell you, in all the years I've been teaching statistics, 1150, 2500, 3500, even at the graduate level. It's the first time I've taught 1800. But all the other statistics give me a pretty good indication. Very, very rarely does someone score higher on the midterm very, very rarely do they score higher on the final than they do the midterm. So guys, suck it up, block out 2.5 hours for October the 11th, that you're going to take this exam, study hard the next 7, 8, 9 days so we can get a good midterm exam on my math lab, because the material gets a lot harder the second half of the semester, and the pace picks up quite a bit too. So midterm exam study guide. You'll notice when you get on Blackboard there are no instructional videos this week. The reason is your assignment number 7 on my math lab is brutal. It's going to be long. And guys, remember again, this is a 5-hour course. So giving you an assignment that's going to take you about 5 hours is reasonable. There's no instructional videos. So anyway, assignment number 7, which is your midterm exam study guide, is long, but it's meant to give you The questions there are representative of the types of things I think you should know and be able to do when you take your midterm exam next week. So again, no instructional videos, and you should allow 4 or 5 hours to take this midterm exam study guide. I think there's 25 questions, and some of the questions have multiple parts, and it's just going to take a while. But it's time for me, there's no instructional videos. It's really time for me to back up. I've taught you what I want you to know. If you've watched all the videos, and like you should, if you're not watching the videos, you just need to go ahead and drop because it's not going to work, especially the second half of the semester. But if you're doing everything I've asked you to do, watching the videos, submitting things on time, you've learned a lot. Now it's time to kind of step back and me get out of the way and let you, kind of retry and practice these things that I've already taught you and get prepared to take the midterm exam. The midterm exam, if you come down to the fourth bullet, actually the third sub-bullet, you'll see it's due at the beginning of your midterm exam. So when you send that email to me and say, Dr. Darber, I want to start my midterm at 7 p.m., then your midterm exam study guide, assignment number 7, will be due at the time you give me that you're going to begin your midterm exam. So in other words, once you begin your midterm exam, you can't go back and work on the midterm exam study guide. In fact, you can't go back and work on any of the assignments that have led up to here. So I'll shut down all access to assignments 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 once you begin your midterm exam. You guys, again, y'all send me one of those emails and say, well, I didn't know that you're going to shut down the assignment. I'm going to lose my mind because I'm telling you that. And if you send one of those emails, it just shows me that you're not watching the videos, and I get extremely frustrated when I find indication of that. All right. And again, you don't understand something statistically, I'm going to be the most patient professor ever, and I will help you figure it out. But when you don't understand something like a due date or something very, very, very fundamental and basic and easy to understand just because you haven't watched the videos, then I get kind of hard to get along with. All right, overview timeline for the next 9 days. First of all, you need to send an email to me October 10th at 11 p.m. to request the block during which time you will take your midterm exam. Guys, essentially all I need is your start time. I can figure it out 2.5 hours. So if you want to start at 10 a.m., tell me, Dr. Darber, I want to start at 10 a.m., and I'll give you from 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. to take your exam. Assignment number 7, the midterm study guide, which is already posted, will be due when you are scheduled to begin your midterm exam. Pretty clear. Assignments 1 through 7 cannot be submitted after you begin your midterm exam. I will shut them down. Seriously, you can't submit them at all. Not during your midterm, but even after your midterm, you won't have access to assignments 1 through 7 anymore. Guys, on October 11th, about 5, 10, 15 minutes before your midterm exam is to begin, I would go ahead and log on to my math lab. You're not going to see the exam until that moment that your window begins. And your midterm exam will become accessible at the beginning of the time under quizzes and exams. So guys, let me get out of this and show you what I mean by that. If you go to my stat lab, usually you go to homework to get your assignment, and of course there's your assignment right there, assignment number 7, the midterm study guide. Again, guys, it's probably going to take 4 to 5 hours to do it. It's rather long. But when you go to take your test, you're going to click this button. Of course, there's not going to be anything there now because I haven't. Well, I've already made it out, but I have it hidden where you can't see it. So, again, once that 2.5 hour time block begins, your exam will pop up there. So you click it. And again, guys, remember, you get one chance per question. Assignments, you can grind it out. You can work on it as many times as you want, or at least as many times as time will allow. The exams are different. Okay, and some of them are multiple choice, so it makes it. I think it's pretty obvious why we don't give you multiple attempts on multiple choice questions. Now, when you're learning, I don't, doing assignments, I have no objection to that, but on a test, it's different. Guys, that's all I got. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope this this online format is working for you. I have to tell you, I was real resistant to teaching statistics online about 4 years ago when my provost came to me and asked me to start offering statistics courses at both graduate and undergraduate online. But I got to tell you, I like it better. The thing I like about it, you can't hide. If you happen to not make it to class, you know what? The lectures are still there. If you get sick, well, once you get over your sickness, the lectures are still there. So there's really no way to hide, and I like that. I like I like that you can watch the videos when you need to watch them. So, guys, I'm done. Take care.